This conference will now be recorded.
Just some of you, I don't see your name. Just please provide your name so that I can know who you are. All right, so what we are going to talk about. So this is officially a second class. So yesterday we started some little bit introduction to Azure. So little bit we've also talked about different cloud computing, what is cloud computing, etc. So if you have not attended yesterday's class, I'll share the recording with you, but you haven't missed much. So this is just only very basics. So to get started with, I told how to create an account. So if you just go to azure.com and you get started, start free, click on start free, and you will get 30 days free trial. So I think some of you have still some questions about this free account. So this will provide you a 30 days free trial account. You don't have to pay anything for the free account. It's free is free. Okay. Instead, they will give 13,000 rupees into your account. So you can spend that 13,000 rupees to create any services. Or if you're from other than India, outside India, you will get 200 USD. You can use the 200 USD for any services that you want to create, and this credit will expire in 30 days. Within 30 days you have to use. After 30 days, 31st day, you will not see that credit. And if you're not going to upgrade your account, the first time you will get free trial account. That's called free trial. So if you once you have finished your free trial, you need to upgrade your account to pay as you go. Pay as you go. So which means you are going to pay for the services as per the usage. So as per the usage you have to pay. So if you're not using any service, you don't have to pay anything. Just as per the usage you have to pay. And what I will get in the first 30 days, you will get this much credit. And once you upgrade your service after 30 days to pay as you go, you will get 12 months of free services. Some services that you will get for 12 months free, and some services you always get for free. Only if you have pay as you go. In pay as you go, you will get a B1S virtual machine for 750 hours. This is one of the model. There are many models are there. And Windows virtual machine also B1S 750 hours. Managed disk 64 GB, file storage, SQL database, blob storage, Cosmos DB bandwidth, and so on. And there are some services which are always free. App service, trend functions, container service, Active Directory B2C, and so these are some of the services which are always free. And you have FAQs here, so that will I think we should read these FAQs to understand about your account. So who is eligible for this account? Anybody, okay? Anybody from any of these countries, okay? Nearly about 140 countries they support. They have Azure services. And if you never had a free trial before, okay, you can create a free trial. Do I have to pay anything to start free account? Nothing. Do I have to pay anything after 30 days? Nothing. If you want to continue your services, upgrade it to pay as you go, or else leave as it is. What happens after once I use 13,300 credit, or I'm at the end of 30 days? So they will start notifying, after 3 weeks that, upgrade it to pay as you go. Okay. So if you're really interested, you can upgrade. Otherwise, you just leave it as it is. And what does it mean by upgrade my subscription? If you upgrade your subscription to pay as you go, you will get you continue to get some more benefits of Azure services. Some services free, some services trial version, some services limited versions. What happens if I don't upgrade? So if you decide not to upgrade at the end of 30 days, any products that you have deployed in your account will be decommissioned and you will not be able to access them. How do you know how much amount is left? So you can go to the site and you can see how much amount is left in the subscription section. And what happens any unused credit if it is there before end of the day? Any credit that is left before or after, it will not be converted or it will not be carry forwarded to the next month. And so there are some FAQs here. Can I apply 30,300 credit towards marketplace offers? No. So marketplace offers are some third-party software. So you cannot apply this 13,300 for marketplace offers. This is only the services that are provided by Azure. If you still have any questions, you can call this. And during you have any billing questions or any other information, you can chat with them. They are available 24/7. Okay, this is about your account. So I hope so you can create account maybe today or tomorrow. So any questions? All right. The next thing that we are going to do, I'll show you one of the very first tool that we are going to, our service that we are going to discuss is virtual machines. This is my virtual machine. And here you see the virtual machines. There is a pricing details available. So virtual machines are the servers, virtual servers in the cloud. And to build your virtual machines, there is no upfront cost, no termination fee. It's a per second billing. And start your Azure free account and you will get 12 months of free credit. And pay-as-you-go service and reserved virtual machine instances. There are two types of instances you get, pay-as-you-go and reserved virtual machine instances. Okay, and pay-as-you-go, basically, it is recommended for users who prefer low cost, flexibility, and Azure virtual machines. Reserved virtual machines, it is recommended for people who wants steady state. Okay, steady usage, they can go for this reserved virtual machines. And you have 3 years. If it is a reserved, you have 3 years, 1 year, or pay as you go. 3 years, 1 year, or pay as you go. This is the pricing. If you go for 3-year pricing, and these are the different pricings that are available. So, and if you go with pay as you go, this is the pricing that you have. So generally, if you go with reserved pricing, you will save a lot of money, but you need to give a commitment of 1 year or 3 years. Okay, and if it's pay as you go, so you can terminate anytime and you can start anytime, and that is going to cost you a little more. There are different type of virtual machines available. A general purpose, compute optimized, memory optimized, storage, GPU, and high performance compute. So these are different images or the different virtual machines that are available. So general purpose is mainly used for, it comes as a balanced CPU ratio. It is ideal for testing and development scenarios, medium to small databases. And you have this, for smaller workloads that you use this. So some of the models that you have, B series, B1S, B2C, and you see the amount of memory, 1 CPU, 1 GB. This is a temporary storage. Temporary storage in Windows, Azure Windows machines, temporary storage is always D drive. D drive is your temporary storage. And B2S, which is 2 CPUs, 4 GB, 8 GB temporary storage. And the cost that you see here, 72 paise per hour. And this is 2.78. This is 1.37 and so on. Okay, so, and you have B1S, MS, 2 GB, 4 GB. Depending on your requirement, you can choose the option, whatever the option that you wanted. Okay. And AV2 standard, A1V2, 2 GB, A2V2, 4 GB, A4. And these are different models, D2, D2 64S, 2 CPUs, 4 CPUs, 8 CPUs, 64 CPUs. This is all general purpose. And if you change it to compute optimized, so compute optimized again, you have FV2 series. It starts 2 GB, FV2 series. Memory optimized. This is the compute optimized is used for more CPU and compute intensive workloads. Okay, and memory optimized is used for basically memory, the application which require more memory. And storage optimized L series GPU, which is graphical processing unit, which is used for heavy graphics or video editing software. And high performance compute HPC, and you can see the cost here. So it's costing you 35 rupees per hour. Okay, so these are different models. So IP addresses, what is kind of IP addresses that you will be assigned to you? A free dynamic virtual IP is assigned to you. A public IP address is assigned to you. It's a dynamic virtual IP. And additional charge, you can also get dynamic public IP address for direct access, and reserved IP address, which you can use as static IP address, which will never get changed. Load balanced IP address, you can also get a load balanced IP address. And to see this, and these are the cost is, if you go by monthly cost, and you'll see this monthly cost, how much it's going to cost. This will cost you about 43,000 if you go as pay as you. And if you go with 1 year, it's going to cost you 25,000 per month. If you go with 3 years, it's going to cost you 17,000. You see the difference, almost 60%, 61% of the cost is reduced if you go by 3 years. Okay, but if you go by per hour basis, per month basis, or pay as you go, you end up paying 43,000 per month. So this, if you know that you're going to use it for longer duration, then go for 1 year or 3 years, you will save a lot of money. And the cost is, right now I have selected CentOS. The cost varies based on the operating system that you select. Cost varies based on the operating systems that you select. For example, CentOS or Ubuntu or Red Hat and RHL Sana. For example, I select this one is costing me 43,000, okay, which is CentOS. And if I select Windows OS, see how much it's going to cost me. By month. And make sure you select HPC. 84,000, almost double. Okay, but if you go with 3 years, it's the same cost for Windows or Linux. 17,000, 80% savings that you get for this. 8 GB, 8 core CPU, 50 GB, 56 GB, and 1 terabytes storage, temporary storage. If you go with 3 years, every month you will pay 17,000. Okay, that's a lot of savings, almost 80% savings. Okay. So why there is a difference between a Windows server and Linux server? Because the Linux is open source, there is no cost for the software. But Windows is a license-based product, which means you have to pay for the license. So the Windows license itself will cost you about 40% of overall cost. So if you have your own Windows license, you can bring that Windows license. If you don't have, then you end up paying nearly about 40% for the Windows software itself. And the cost will vary from region to region. Here you see a region, the region to region cost will vary. Okay, this particular region is costing me 84,000 in East US, Windows OS, HPC. If I go with India, you see, it's costing me 93,000. It was about 83, right? Now it's costing me 93,000. So if I go with another location, Australia Central, This particular model is not available in Australia. It need not to be. Okay, in some regions, some services available. In some other regions, another service is available. So if the service is not available in this region, then you have to pick up another region. Okay, let me say North Europe. All right, so this is costing you very less in North Europe. It's only 73,000 if you go as pay as you go. But if you go with 3-year reserve, right, it's costing you 22,000, which is 69% only savings. But in East US, it is, you will save almost 80%, and that is costing you 17,000. So region to region pricing will vary. Operating system to operating system, or the image to image, the pricing will vary. And also the type of pricing model, like if you go with pay as you go, it would cost you more, but you have a flexibility to choose, when to start, when to stop. And 1 year and 3 year, you will save more, but you have to reserve it for 1 year or 3 year at least. All right, any questions? Okay. Another thing, I want to know how much it's going to cost me if I use some particular model. Okay, some particular model of virtual machine. So I can get an estimation. So you have calculator here, click that. This calculator is going to help you to find out how much it's going to cost you. So for example, I want to know how much it's going to cost for virtual machine and storage. Okay, so these two things were added. Click on view. So there are a couple of things already added here. So let me delete them. There's nothing. I'll just add again. Virtual machine, storage. Only 2 items are there. This is my virtual machine. And what type of virtual machine that you want to choose? Okay, in which location? West US, for example, a Windows virtual machine. And you just want OS, or you want OS with SQL Server or BizDoc Server. Just OS. And the pricing tier, standard, basic, or lower priority. So the difference between standard and basic is the basic does not support load balancing and auto scaling. So that means it's a standalone server. You cannot have a load balancer. 2 machines can for load balancer, minimum 2 machines required. So you cannot have a load balancing feature in basic. We have very few basics, maybe 5, 10, 15, that's all of them are, most of them, 90% of the machines are standard machines. Okay, so basic machine, so probably you want a standalone server, then go for basic. But if you are looking at adding more and more servers to application, then go for standard. So I'll go with standard, and these are the models: A series, D series, E series, G series, L series. These are the models, and B series available in this region. I will take for something like 1 core, 3.5 GB memory, 50 GB temporary disk. It's costing me 9 rupees 25 paise per hour. This will show you your local currency, and you want to go for pay as you go or reserved. So I'll just go with pay as you go for now. How many hours per month that you're going to run? So 730 hours. Let's assume 730 hours. How many virtual machines? 1 virtual machine. Okay. And the disks, the standard hard disk, and so what's the size that you wanted? Okay, 32 GB of how many? One disks. It's going to cost you 100 rupees per month. So that is 100 rupees. And if you want 64 GB, almost double. So this one would cost 4 terabytes of disk would cost you 10,000 rupees per month. So I'll stick to 32 GB or 64 GB. And then storage transactions, number of transactions. This is for the virtual machine disk. And you want to add additional disk. This is the additional disk if you want to add East US blob storage hot access here, so that's costing you around 1000 rupees. And write operation, read operations, all other operations. Do you want any support? These are different support options. Developer, standard. Right now there is no support option included, so if you select developer support, it will cost you around 2000 rupees. And if you look for standard support, 6000. Professional direct, 66,000. Okay, so select this one. Overall, for this server with the storage, it is going to cost you 10,000 rupees per month, and you can save it or export it as the cost estimation, as a Excel sheet, and click on this purchase options, and you can reach out to enterprise agreements. So large organizations will have enterprise agreements. Okay, they are going to commit, as per their agreement, they are going to commit that minimum commitment they will give, so they will get more benefits. And you can also purchase them through resellers. Okay, and you can also purchase them through partners. Okay, or since you have already an account, so you can. So these are the ways that you can purchase, or else you click on purchase now. That's it. So you'll get a mission for that particular month. All right, any questions? Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes,
No
one.
chat window is not available.
Sorry?
Hello. Chat window is not available.
Chat window is not available. Okay, let me see. Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
available now?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sure. So big companies will go with so what was the question? Can you repeat it again, Suvarna, in real time? Yeah. So I will show you. So I have not come to the virtual machine creations yet. So there's a question about how to create virtual machines in storage. I'll show you when we come to that section. So we still have maybe 1 or 2 sessions to go. And there is something called marketplace here. Marketplace, Azure Marketplace, it's like Play Store, App Store. Okay, you have Android Play Store, right, and iPhone App Store. What can you do? You can buy, purchase apps. You're getting resound. Are you able to hear me properly? Are you getting resound? I think your side, Kundan. Kundan, you can log in and log off. Others are able to hear me properly. Okay, thank you. And these are like applications. So you can get, these are third-party applications. You can just go to any of these, depending on what you want. So you have some firewall. Okay, this is Windows Server. This is Apache NiFi, Netrix, Ansible Tower, data science application, OS if you want OS, Enterprise Linux, Ubuntu, Windows Server, and so on. So you just get it now, so you will have it. Okay, so Octopus deploy. Click that. Plans. A single, when you select this, it's going to deploy a Windows virtual machine with Octopus deploy server with SQL Server, and it provides you a 45-day free trial. So allow you to test Octopus on your application delivery pipeline. After 45 days, if you decide to go for a commercial license, you can go for it. There are lots of applications available here. So as you can see here, and networking components, containers. Okay, go to here, and if you require, if you're looking for some specific application, just go here, you get it. So you will get a 30-day free trial for Docker Enterprise Edition. How do I deploy this? So just simply say get it now. It will get deployed. Okay. Now you can also get applications, not only virtual machines, you can also get applications. So these are different applications that you can get it. Azure Active Directory services. Docker is containers. It's kind of, it's everything. Storage, your application, everything will be sitting in the Docker container. So you can, that's nothing but whatever the application inside Docker, so you can launch it. It's kind of server on its own. Okay. Use Azure AD to enable user access to Flipkart, Yelp, OpenTable. Some of the consumer things also there here. All right, so any questions so far? All right. If you have your own product that you want to sell it on marketplace, just go here and just follow the guidelines. Publish your solution, grow your business. There is a publisher guide, so which will help you. You have to meet certain requirements. So if you have just follow through guideline, and that will help you to publish your application. Or if you are looking for any specific app, so you can search for that particular app. For example, IT administration. Okay, these are all apps. These are Jira for Outlook, workflow environments. So only apps, you can get these apps installed on your machines. If I search for Jira is one of the project management tool. So visualize development velocity, software quality, everything else that you can plan and track your application. So no, easy to use, absolutely not use, doesn't work. Some people have put their comments here. All right, that's about marketplace. And let's look at Azure data centers. How many data centers Azure has? Many, nearly about All right, someone has some question? Nearly about 55 data centers or 55 regions they have. So as you can see here, the overview regions, number of regions, 54 regions, 140 countries. A region is nothing but a data center, a big data centers, huge. Okay, so it's not like a room or a small room or nothing. So it can be kilometers and or it can be miles away. So these are the data centers. You can see West US 2, and there are a lot of data centers or regions in US side, and there are many regions in Europe also. In India, we have 3 regions: South India, Central India, West India. So Azure has more regions than any other cloud service provider. Amazon has 18 regions, and Google Cloud also 10 plus regions they have, and these people Microsoft Azure has 54 regions overall. And the thick blue circle that you see, those are regions already in production. The thick regions or thick circle blue, those are regions which are already in production. Dotted circles, some of the dotted circles that you are seeing, right? Those are the regions that are announced, and very soon they will go live. And some services, some regions are accessible only to US government, and some regions are only, so like Chinese regions, right? The China regions are only accessible to Chinese people, and if you are doing business in China, that's accessible. And if you are doing business in Germany, only the Germany region or European region that you are doing business, that is accessible there. US government region is only accessible to the government agencies. Apart from that, so the Germany region, Chinese region, and government region are restricted regions. It is not available to general public, but the other regions are available for general public. So you can go any of the region and create an account.
Praveen, I have one doubt about this container. Container is nothing but a virtual machine with the comes along with the OS of any of the OS of like Linux, CentOS, or Windows.
So
Is that right?
container is not exactly a virtual machine. It's a very small, lightweight instance. Okay, container instance we call it as. So it can have
Mm-hmm.
operating system, it can have application, it can have anything, but it is not a full operating system. If it's a full operating system, suppose let's take a Windows operating system. Windows operating system, how much it will take? Maybe 12 GB or 16 GB. And Linux operating system, at least 2 GB it will take. So the container, inside the container, you can put an operating system, Ubuntu operating system or Microsoft Windows operating system. The operating system is very small, very much portable. Okay, very small in size, and only the required components will be there inside. Okay, very lightweight program or lightweight operating system. Okay, so that container, see, I can take this container, so hardly the container can be a 30 MB or 40 MB, 50 MB. Okay, that 30 MB can have
Okay.
a Linux operating system and some application. Okay, so
Means it's a open source.
no container is not open source. Some containers, so Docker is very popular. So Docker has 2 versions, community edition and enterprise edition. Community edition is a open source. You will not get any support, but you are free to use it. But enterprise edition is you have to pay for the support, and you will get some more additional features. There are many containers available, many types of containers, like you have Mesh OS, and you also have Rocket containers. But out of this, Docker is very popular.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does it clear your things?
Yes. It's. I have still. I am a bit confused.
Let me show you a picture
Can you?
that
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a virtual machine. This is a VMware, and this is your container. On the left-hand side, there's a full hypervisor. So you have a hardware infrastructure. On top of it, operating system is installed, and then you have hypervisor. Hypervisor such as VMware or VMware Workstation or VirtualBox or Hyper-V, any of that. So using this Hyper-V, you will install guest operating systems. On the guest operating systems, you have your applications installed. App 1, App 2, App 3, and required binaries, libraries, and other stuff. Okay, so let's assume this particular piece of hardware has 16 GB memory. Okay, and let's assume this is Windows 2016, and 4 GB has gone for Windows operating system. You are left with 12 GB, and that 12 GB is distributed for 3 operating systems. So how much you will get? 4 GB, 4 GB, 4 GB for each operating system, guest operating system. And the guest operating system, if you're running Windows 2016, again, it requires at least 4 GB. Okay, but let's assume only you have given 2 GB. Okay, 2 GB is given for each operating system, and how much is left? 2 GB per server is left for your applications, correct?
Yes.
And but in the Docker, on the right hand side, it's a Docker technology or container technology, we call it as. There will be only one operating system, one hardware, one operating system, and
Okay.
on top of it, container engine is created, and using container engine we create containers. These containers are very lightweight programs, or lightweight. This is just a runtime environment. It doesn't have any full-fledged operating system, just a runtime environment that is going to be there. So let's assume 4 GB is gone for your operating system. You're left with 12 GB. All this 12 GB is assigned to this your applications. Okay. This way, your application can get up to 12 GB. But in this case, your application can only get 2 GB.
4 GB. Yes, 2 GB.
So this 12 GB can be used for any container. But here, only 4 GB, you already distributed 4 GB for guest operating systems. Only this application get maximum 2 GB and maximum
Yes.
2 GB, 2 GB. But here, there is no restriction. Up to 12 GB you can get for your containers. And these containers will not take much resources. It's very lightweight, and you can see, I can take this container. So this container, let's assume that is built in one environment. I can take this container and put it in another environment, QA environment and testing environment, and you can push it in staging and production. Different environments I can push it in. And
Okay,
container
engine can be installed on any operating system, right?
Yes.
Windows. Windows.
Linux containers works only Linux operating system. Windows containers work only Windows operating system.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. Got it.
And these containers, portable in size, so that means very small. It's going to take very less size, less resources.
Okay.
Clear?
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, clear.
All right. Any questions, guys? So you can see the products that are available by region. So as you can see here, so select any of the product and see if that is available in here or not. So machine learning services, East US, South Central, it's available. For example, compute, virtual machines. So obviously virtual machines should be available in most all the regions, but some models will be available in some regions. Some models may not be available, but at least a couple of virtual machines will be available. And these are different services that are there: virtual machines, machine learning services. These are analytic services, compute services, containers, AKS, Azure Kubernetes services, container registry, container instances. So you can build containers in the cloud. Databases, all the different kind of databases, and you see more. If you're from database background, you might be interested on this. So Azure SQL database, Cosmos database, data factory, table storage, and all those things. And these are developer tools. So you can just go through each one of these and you'll see what are the things that are available, different services. DevOps projects, VSTS, Dev Test Labs, Active Directory, IoT, cost management, site recovery, firewall. Okay. All right, so that's all I have for today. And if you have, so we still have some more time left. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
So Praveen, Madan here. So is this the type 1 or type 2 hypervisor, like VMware is on a type 1, right? How about Azure?
Azure, we don't manage the hypervisor. Hypervisor is managed by Microsoft. So this
Understood
is
that.
a type 1 hypervisor. Obviously, type 2 hypervisor is not used for production environments. So it's a type 1 hypervisor.
Let's say if the customer wants to build their own Azure platform, what exactly they have to do?
So they have to ask for, there is something called Azure Stack. Okay. So they have to request for Azure Stack. So they can build their own Azure cloud in their environment. So this is Azure Stack. Okay.
Azure Stack, okay.
All right, guys. That's all I have. I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Thank you.
Thank you.